Welcome to Monarch Matters, a podcast by Monarch PSG, where we explore the intersections of environmental sustainability, climate action, and social justice. Each episode dives into pressing issues, innovative solutions, and the stories driving change in our communities and beyond. Whether you're an advocate, a learner, or someone curious about making a difference, you're in the right place. Let's transform awareness into action, because what matters to the planet matters to us all. We're bringing you scripted episodes voiced through AI technology powered by AiVOOV and or Voice Studio. Thank you for joining us. Let's get started.
Did you know your kitchen holds a simple solution to reducing microplastic contamination in your drinking water? Recent research reveals that boiling tap water and then filtering it can remove up to 90% of microplastics and nanoplastics, with hard water showing even better results. In this episode, we'll explore how this accessible method offers a promising step towards safer, cleaner water for all.
All right, so let's dive into something I'm sure you've all heard about.
Right.
Microplastics in our drinking water.
Right.
And it can feel a little bit overwhelming, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a big topic. It's a little scary.
Absolutely.
But we're going to unpack some really fascinating research that offers a surprisingly simple solution that you can actually use, like, right in your own kitchen.
Really?
And get this, it involves something that pretty much all of us do every single day.
Okay.
Boiling water.
Interesting.
But hold on, there's more to it than just that.
Okay.
We'll discover how the effectiveness of this simple solution actually depends on things. Like what kind of water you have.
Okay.
Hard water, soft water, and even the role of limescale buildup. You know, that...
Like in your kettle.
Yeah, exactly. That pesky limescale in your kettle. So buckle up, because we're about to get into the nitty-gritty of microplastics and this unexpected way to fight back.
Definitely a hot topic, and for good reason.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about these tiny plastic particles, so small you can't even see them.
Yeah.
And they're finding their way into our drinking water.
Right.
And ultimately into our bodies.
Exactly.
And what's even more concerning is that these nano and microplastics, they're often called NMPs.
Okay.
They can sneak past even the most advanced filtration systems.
Really?
This makes it a global issue, not just something happening in, a few places.
Yeah, that's unsettling to think about.
Yeah.
So let's get into the research that you mentioned.
Okay.
Who's behind it, and what exactly did they discover?
So this research comes from a team at Guangzhou Medical University and Jinan University in China.
Okay.
They recently published their findings in Environmental Science and Technology Letters.
Okay.
And their study focused on testing
Right?
how effective boiling and filtering are at removing these NMPs
Okay.
from both hard and soft water.
All right, so they were testing both.
Yes. They even went a step further and added extra microplastics to the water samples
Wow.
to really, put their methods to the test.
So they're taking on this microplastic problem head on.
Yeah, exactly.
What did they find? Did boiling and filtering actually work?
Here's the surprising part.
Okay.
Yes, it did.
Wow.
They discovered that boiling the water, followed by a simple filtering step, can remove a significant amount of NMPs,
Okay.
and the percentage removed was pretty impressive,
Really?
reaching up to 90% in some cases.
Oh, 90%.
Yeah, it really highlights the potential of something as basic as boiling water,
Yeah.
which many of us already do
Right.
as a way to address this complex issue.
That's pretty amazing, 90% reduction just from boiling.
That's pretty remarkable.
I'm really curious about the how behind this.
Yeah.
What's going on that makes boiling so effective at trapping these tiny particles?
But the secret lies in the type of water you're using.
Okay.
Hard water, with its higher mineral content, turned out to be much better at trapping microplastics during boiling.
So hard water is the key.
Yeah, it seems so.
What's so special about it? Is there like a magic mineral at work here?
It's not exactly magic,
Okay.
but there is a specific mineral involved,
Okay.
calcium carbonate,
Okay.
which forms what we know as limescale.
Oh.
You know that chalky white buildup you often see in kettles?
Oh, yeah, limescale. I definitely know that site.
Right.
So is this limescale actually doing us a favor?
It is.
By trapping these microplastics?
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
As the hard water boils, that limescale forms a crust on the bottom and sides of the kettle.
Right.
This crust acts like a net catching and holding onto the microplastic particles.
That makes sense. But what about people who don't have hard water?
Yeah.
Is boiling still helpful for them?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And the researchers looked into that as well.
Okay.
They found that even in soft water, which has less limescale buildup,
Right.
boiling still managed to remove about a quarter of the NMPs.
Okay, so it's not as effective?
Not as effective.
No, but
No.
it still makes a difference.
But still a noticeable reduction.
Okay, so boiling, especially with hard water, is a good first step.
Yeah.
Then comes the filtering part, which you mentioned was really simple.
Right.
What does that involve?
It's truly as easy as it sounds.
Okay.
All you need is a basic stainless steel mesh tea strainer.
Okay.
Just pour the boiled water through the strainer,
Got it.
and you're good to go.
Easy.
The strainer will catch any of those lime scale coated microplastics.
Right.
It's a practical and accessible solution for pretty much everyone.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has a strainer,
Right.
so that's great.
Exactly.
So we're talking about like a simple boil
Uh-huh.
and a quick strain.
Yeah.
That's pretty doable.
Yeah.
I think what's really hitting home for me, though, is that
Yeah.
this isn't just some hypothetical problem, you know?
Right.
This study identified like specific types of plastics in the water.
Absolutely. They found fragments of polystyrene,
Oh, wow.
polyethylene, polypropylene,
Okay.
and polyethylene terephthalate.
Wow, those are some...
These are some of the most common plastics
Right.
we encounter every day, from food containers to packaging to clothing fibers.
Wow.
And unfortunately, past studies have shown that
Yeah.
we're ingesting these microplastics through our
Yeah.
drinking water on a daily basis.
It's kind of a disturbing thought that
Yeah.
we're essentially consuming these tiny plastic bits
Yeah.
regularly.
Yeah. It's not a pleasant thought.
Which brings up the bigger question.
Mm-hmm.
How worried should we actually be about these microplastics
Right.
in our bodies?
Yeah.
What are the potential health impacts?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And the research is still ongoing.
Yeah.
However, there are some red flags emerging
Okay.
that we can't ignore.
Okay, like what?
For instance, studies have linked microplastics to changes in the gut microbiome.
Oh, the gut microbiome.
Yeah.
We've done a whole deep dive on that before.
Right.
It's amazing how important that balance of bacteria is
Yeah, absolutely.
for our overall health.
It plays a crucial role in
Okay.
everything,
Yeah.
from digestion and immunity to mental health.
Wow.
And disrupting that delicate ecosystem
Right.
can have a ripple effect throughout the body.
And beyond the gut?
Yeah, beyond the gut, microplastics have also been linked to
Okay.
increased antibiotic resistance,
Yeah.
which is a major public health concern.
Antibiotic resistance is a huge issue.
It is.
So even though more research is needed,
Mhm.
it seems pretty clear that we don't want these microplastics
Wrong.
hanging out in our systems.
Precisely. And that's why
Yeah.
this research on boiling water is so significant.
Yeah.
It offers a practical and accessible way to potentially reduce our exposure to microplastics,
Yeah.
at least when it comes to drinking water.
I have to admit, I'm already looking at my kettle differently. It's like a secret weapon against these invisible invaders.
I know, right?
But beyond just this one study,
Uh-huh.
what are the researchers hoping to see happen next?
Well, they're calling for larger scale studies
Okay.
to confirm their findings and really dive deeper
Yeah.
into the effectiveness of boiled water as a microplastic mitigation strategy.
So more research, basically.
More research is always good. The more data we have,
Right.
the better equipped we'll be to make informed choices
Right.
about our water consumption.
Data is power, for sure.
It is.
And this research is already making me rethink my own water habits.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you changed anything about your daily routine?
You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
I've always been aware of the microplastic problem,
Uh-huh.
but this study really brought it home for me.
Yeah.
There's something about knowing that such a simple action like boiling
Right.
can potentially make a difference.
Right.
I find myself paying more attention to the lime scale in my kettle now.
Me too.
I know. It's like
It's like
we've uncovered a hidden superpower
Yeah.
in our kitchens.
Who knew that something as mundane as boiling water
Active.
could play a role in this global issue?
It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest solutions are right in front of us waiting to be discovered.
Yeah.
And it really highlights the power of scientific research
Uh-huh.
to uncover these hidden gems and empower us to take action.
Speaking of uncovering,
Yeah.
if our listeners want to explore this study further, where can they find it?
All the details can be found in the journal Environmental Science and Technology Letters.
Okay.
We'll include a link in the show notes
Perfect.
for easy access.
So we've unpacked the problem,
Yeah.
we've explored the research,
Yeah.
and even revealed a surprisingly simple solution.
Right.
What's the takeaway message here for our listeners?
Well, I think
What do we want them to walk away with?
this research presents us with a fascinating question.
Okay.
Will it change your approach to drinking water?
Hmm.
Will you consider incorporating boiling as a regular step in your routine.
Yeah.
It's something to ponder as we continue to learn more about the world around us
Yeah.
and the impact of our choices.
I like that.
It's a reminder that even seemingly small actions can contribute to tackling big issues.
Yeah, it really does make you think, doesn't it?
It does.
This whole deep dive has been a great reminder that we don't have to wait for like some big, technological breakthrough to make a difference.
Exactly.
Sometimes the answers are right there in our everyday routines.
Absolutely. And that sense of agency is so important, especially when it comes to, environmental issues that can feel so overwhelming.
Absolutely.
This research empowers us to take control of our health and make informed choices, even with something as simple as choosing to boil our water.
Yeah, it's a powerful message. We're not just passive bystanders in this microplastic story. We can actually do something about it right now in our own kitchens with tools we already have.
It really shifts your perspective, doesn't it?
It does.
I find myself noticing the lime scale in my kettle and thinking, hey, that's actually helping me out. It's like a tiny built-in filtration system.
I know, right? Who knew that lime scale?
Yeah.
Something we usually try to scrub away.
Right.
Could be playing a role in protecting us from microplastics.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It's a reminder that sometimes the solutions to these complex problems can be surprisingly simple.
Yeah.
And even a little bit unexpected.
A little bit unexpected for sure.
This whole deep dive has been a great example of that.
Yeah.
It's amazing how something as familiar as boiling water
I know, right?
can suddenly become so fascinating and even empowering when we look at it through the lens of scientific research.
Well said.
Well, on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into microplastics and the surprising power of boiling water.
It's been a fascinating journey.
A huge thank you to our expert for sharing your insights and expertise.
You're welcome.
On this important topic.
Happy to be here.
To all our listeners out there, we encourage you to check out the full study in Environmental Science and Technology Letters. If you want to delve deeper into the research,
great resource.
We'll include a link in the show notes.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep those kettles boiling and those minds curious.
Sounds good.
Calling all educators, students, and community members. Join Monarch PSG, the City of District Heights Sustainability Committee, and Prince George's County Public Schools for a transformative virtual environmental justice workshop. Join us live on Tuesday, February 4th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. This workshop will explore critical topics like food justice, energy equity, green jobs, and more, plus practical ways to integrate environmental justice education into curriculum. The event will also spotlight the town of Eagle Harbor, a historic African-American community founded in 1925. Hear from an incredible lineup of experts, including Nicole Jackson, Principal Consultant at Monarch PSG and Senior Climate Justice Fellow at the University of Maryland. Larry Davis, CEO of Green Mechanics. Brittany Drakeford, Director of the Capital Market. Charles Ramanii, from the EJ Lab at the University of Maryland. Joshua Smalley, CEO of Truly Solar. Antoine Thompson, Executive Director of Greater Washington Region Clean Cities Coalition. Yolanda Bonner, Associate Director from the Institute for Market Transformation. And Christina Kwok, Research Director at Unbounded Associates. Hosted by Antonio Hernandez from the Hip Hop Caucus, this is an event you don't want to miss.